Did you guys watch the show? Is I think House of Cards?
Yes. Yeah.
Remember how that started?
Was he getting BDSM'd?
He was getting beat up by his wife at the beginning of the first episode.
Yes. I think I remember some of those scenes. I don't remember that being the very beginning though.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
That was the first. You know what? Am I saying is it House of Cards where he was? He's trying to be president.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Watch the first episode again. Opening scene. Him getting beat by his wife.
He was a freak that whole time though, because then he and his wife bullied that Secret Service agent into having a devil's threesome.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until afterward.
And it wasn't even a devil's threesome. They both fucked him separately. That dude was into both of them.
Because he was in the guys too, right? Kevin was in the guys
They were both fucking him like separately and together. Like,
are you sure? Yeah. I feel like I remember him being bullied a bit.
No, I remember him being like,
he was into it.
Like ooh la la, the president and his hot wife want me. First of all, Robin Wright is hot enough to put up with Kevin Spacey.
Bro, she was
get Robin Wright after.
She was fine in that show. Oh, dude, gosh.
I'd be all over Kevin Spacey if Robin Wright's gonna hop on in. I saw Kevin Spacey got accused again by Yeah, it's what's his name? One of his co-stars from that movie that I had you watch a while back.
I don't know. I saw a video of Kevin like in front of his kitchen counter or something talking.
Recently, I saw that one too. Yeah. But I can't remember what he said in it.
Let's see. Where are you, Mr. Spacey?
Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce said that when they were working together on probably LA Confidential, that he was preyed upon by Kevin Spacey, and Kevin made a video where he's like, "Oh, really? You would pray? Is that how it went?"
Oh, wasn't he using the accent of?
He always does a little. When he made that Christmas video where he's like semi-threatening, he was in character as
semi.
Yeah. He was in character for the show.
But he made a video like this week about Guy Pearce where he's like, "Why don't I tell people about when I invited you to my home in Atlanta and flew you in, enjoy my company, and like were you pray then?" And like goes on this whole thing. He's like, I love Kevin Spacey.
So do I, bro.
I don't think he did anything wrong at all. Not a damn thing.
And House of Cards,
little dick honking. Little dick honking. That's all I keep hearing. All right. And let me just tell you this: if Kevin Spacey honked my dick, I'd say, "Sir, please don't honk my dick. It's not funny." I'm a huge fan. No dick honking. I see. How do you like it? Honk? Too hard. And
no, he would love that. Now you're reciprocating. What would you even ask him? Would you be like, "Did you method act that foot thing as Kaiser Sose?" Like,
I'd ask him that. I ask him that. I'd love to know.
That's why in American Beauty I became a pedophile.
He was an awesome actor. He's an awesome actor, bro. I'm sorry, but he's an awesome actor.
He is. He's really
and that show made Netflix. That's why you know that when you hear the Netflix sound, it's him knocking on the table from that show. That's how they got the Netflix sound. There's
a real chicken or egg thing though.
That's how they used to start Netflix when you signed in. Because that's how big the show was for Netflix.
You know, now he's not. When you like hover over it on Netflix, he's in none of the cover art. He's in none of the. They play like a quick blurb. They play you like a sort of, I don't know, teaser trailer when you hover over stuff in the app, and like he's in none of that. If you were to hover over it and read and watch, you would think it was a show about Robin Wright becoming the president of the United States.
Dang,
you know, and it's like. It's a wonderful show. The first season is so good. I love that show. I was super into it at the time. I thought it was the bee's knees. It was. I know Taylor didn't like the later seasons, but I did. I
loved it all except for the last season.
Of course, when he killed Kate Mara, when he pushed her in front of that fucking train,
that was great.
When he killed. Honestly, from the first episode, when he kills that dog and he's like, "There are two kinds of pain," I'm like, "Oh shit, this is a different kind of show. This is the devil."
So he's a bad guy. He's murdering a dog.
But is he though?
I did.
Is he though?
He's
right. You know, there's two kinds of pain. There's like pain that you learn from and you grow from and become stronger by, and then there's this useless, just suffering. That he's ending by killing the dog, you know. He's got a good point. He's right.
And he ended that lady's misery in front of that train.
That lady's talking shit. She had kept her fucking mouth shut.
If she didn't play along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that. How he like, as this old man, even then shoves her in front of a train and then just kind of emerges conspicuously from the other side of the platform. And everyone's like, who could have done this? Not that guy.
I can't get on board with killing attractive people.
Ugly people, hey, go have fun. But
no problem.
Good looking people, that's crossing the line.
She's 10. She's a 10.
If it was some like big fat journalist who's like, well, I'm going to uncover all the evil
right
on Capitol Hill. Everyone was like, no one would mind
train.
Mouth breathing and everything. Yeah. He's got to go. Jesus.
He's eating while
That's
he's
so
talking.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
well, that's Woody's always been consistent there. If you're a big fatso, you deserve it. You deserve for Kevin Spacey to get your ass. I remember that show was so good. I lost interest once like it became clear he wasn't going to be a part of it anymore because the whole reason I was watching it was like, oh, it's the Kevin Spacey show. Like he's the interesting character. And then that bald guy who was like unbelievably duplicitous and underhanded, who was his right-hand man. He was very good too. But anytime one of those two wasn't on screen, it's like, all right, when are we getting back to those guys?
But it's actually
100%
really educational too, though, because it taught you a lot about how the government works if you didn't know how the government works, right? Like it was really
and also
specific.
print media. I was learning a lot about her paper or whatever, and like that industry, how that worked. But I always say, like, most of my knowledge of the White House and its inner workings comes from the TV show The West Wing.
The West Wing was so good for that.
They teach you what each of those White House positions actually does and what the hierarchy is, and
the judicial, the executive branch,
who collaborates versus who competes versus one another. It was really good.
Because it seems, if you believe the West Wing, and I believe some of it, those are some of the most qualified people on the planet at those jobs.
But you had to be back in the day.
People who could make 10 million a year or as a minimum, right? People who could make 150 million a year, possibly.
Yeah.
They're working in the West Wing for what? 120 grand? Like, how do they get them to sign up for that?
Because
that's the part of the show. Power
and duty.
That was the part of the show, right? When in the first season, when they're recruiting the team, and he goes to Rob Lowe and he's like, I've got a guy. I got the guy. And what he means is the guy that they always talked about in school, where like, if there was a politician to get behind who was a great man that I believed in, who cares about the money? I would follow that leader. They had always had that talk. Rob Lowe's in some meeting selling oil tankers. And the people are like, no, we'll take the cheap one that leaks and we'll just pay the insurance. And he's like, and Rob Lowe is having to like deal with that kind of evil. He's selling shitty oil tankers to men who will just insure them and let them leak, for hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. And he gets drug away by that Jewish fellow to go to Washington and work for the president. I love that show. I wish there was they couldn't, but I was going to say, I wish they would remake it, but like, can you imagine?
House of Cards took off from that. Yeah. But House of Cards was good for that too, because it showed you how lobbyists were sent to mess around with the system too. And it kind of took over that West Wing type of feel, right? Like the inner workings of being West the Wing. Whip in Congress and all that stuff too, right? So like
that was evil West Wing though, because it was always Kevin Spacey making something happen that everyone said was impossible. Like the left would hate it, the right would hate it, and Kevin would find some way to make it happen.
And it was all for revenge because he didn't get chosen at that first episode.
I like that.
Yeah, he was very petty, and that was entertaining.
I like the pettiness. It should have ended whenever he became president and he knocked on the desk and pop, pop, like hit the desk. That should have been the final scene of the whole show. They shouldn't have
because that was his final. Yeah, so that was his final.
I agree with that. Everyone says it sucked because Spacey left. I don't know that the next season would have been as bad, but it would have also been on the decline if Spacey was still there.
I know a lot of people like me stopped specifically because Spacey wasn't around. It's like, all right, well, that character I was interested in is gone. It was good, fun while it lasted. And then,
it should have been one more season after he became president, and he should have died at the end of it.
I had the death idea.
You know what I'm saying?
It was going to be it was going to be an embattled presidency, and I wanted to see that, but instead,
for how long though?
Yeah, for a season, but instead they killed him off screen, which was just so upsetting.
Stupid. They pulled a Yellowstone.
And then they did this thing where a key plot point, a key MacGuffin, was that he had made these audio tapes, like long audio tapes of him sort of confessing to everything and pontificating. And it was like whenever he would talk to the camera, to the audience, those were recorded on tapes, and they had those tapes, and they would occasionally play them on the show, but they wouldn't play them out loud. They'd have people listen with earbuds and shit. They wouldn't even play his fucking voice. And you'd have people like reacting to him hearing Kevin Spacey admit to a thing. And it's like, you're not even going to let us hear his voice say the thing. And of course they're not, because he won't say the thing because you fired him.
Yeah.
I wonder, stuff like that. That's where AI frightens me. I'm not super worried about the impact it's going to have on employees. Like making people more efficient has never been a problem in the past. Sure, it disrupts people and it makes them find new jobs. But by and large, the GDP goes up because people are more efficient. But the ability to lie, to show me videos that I can't tell are fake half the time anymore. Taylor's better than me, but even Taylor will be fooled before too long. And the audio, same sort of. I think I'm better at catching audio fakes than video fakes at this point.
Yeah,
but soon I won't be.
AI is changing everything, and it's like, because part of my job is working in like the film, TV, music video industry, and you guys remember that big strike that happened, right?
The writer's strike.
Part of the strike, it was a writer's strike and some actor's strike, but part of that strike was because they wanted to, especially extras, they wanted extras and different actors to sign over the rights to their face so they could fill them into AI scenes later. And now that's like, how crazy is that? And it's like, even like martial artists, like one of the reasons why Jet Li, amazing martial artist, but one of the reasons why he stopped acting was because studios are trying to pressure him to sign a contract that they could use his moves without him, so they could just put it on a CGI character, right? So even though CGI, right, artificial intelligence and CGI right now, it's coming to the point where, right now it looks corny to us because they're messing up the fingers and stuff like that and everything, right? But in a few years, bro, it's going to be a whole different world.